Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Hemlata. Dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, guests, good morning to one and all. Before I begin, may I know how many of you are going to contest at the Humorous Speech Contest? Only one person would contest at the Humorous Speech Contest? Well then, bye-bye. Let me go. Anyways, I will now give you tips on how to approach Humorous Speech Contest. So by the end of this presentation, I'm sure I will have more hands raised saying that you all will be contesting in the Humorous Speech Contest, making it difficult for the judges to decide who is the champion. First of all, unlike the International Speech Contest, you have to ensure that you deliver your speech, the humorous speech, with a message and giving the fact that it has to be humorous. So that itself makes it a challenge. Are you up to that challenge? It's easy. There are a few things that you need to follow and you can do it. Now, we have heard Toastmaster Navara and Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Alka, explain to us the rules. Let me tell you that the best part of Humorous Speech Contest is, unlike International Speech Contest, is that you don't have to worry about completing level 1, level 2. You could be new to the club. You could have just finished delivering your icebreaker speech. And if you have that funny bone, go ahead and register yourself for the Humorous Speech Contest. You will do well. You will be representing your club. So go ahead. If you have a funny bone, go ahead and give your name. Prepare yourself for that speech. Having said that, since for the new members and for the old contestants who have been doing it over and over, let's look at what are the do's and don'ts, or rather the rules of Humorous Speech Contest. And this is from the Speech Contest Rulebook of Toastmasters International. So there are two things that a humorous speech contestant should take care of. The first being the speaker must avoid. Pay attention, must avoid potentially objectionable language, anecdotes, and material. What does that mean? Objectionable language would be use of curse words. So please abstain from using curse words, name calling, or belittling any community or any person in the audience or anywhere. Second, objectionable anecdotes would just mean belittling somebody, a denomination, a community. Avoid all these things. And objectionable material, don't come to your speech with props that would be objectionable. Just a simple example. Bear in mind that we have to consider the culture of your audience. So don't walk into your speech with a bikini, for example. That's how you would take care of how not to use objectionable language, anecdotes, and material. Coming to point number 2, the speech must be thematic in nature. Now that would mean having an opening, a body, and a conclusion, very much like the International Speech Contest. And of course, it should arrive at a message. And as I said, the challenge here is to deliver that message with humor. Now, having said that, the speech should not be a stand-up comedy, meaning having series of one-liners taken from the net. Do not make a collection of jokes from from the net and bring it as your speech? Well, if you need to, one or two fine, where you would make reference saying that this is taken from the net. But otherwise, your speech should be your speech. So let it have an opening, a body, and a conclusion with a message. And being a humorous speech, don't let it be a monologue. Let there be variety in your speech. Don't just stand plain blank and deliver the speech. You've got so much more to express in a humorous speech. So taking these 2 points into consideration, we now move on to how we can prepare, practice, and deliver the speech. And that I am going to explain from my experience. It's not in the rule book, but something that I learned in the process of having to take part in the humorous speech contest. So the first thing in preparation I would be to first write down your speech. It's very important you write down your speech, keeping in mind what I just mentioned, it should be thematic with an opening body conclusion, and it should not contain any objectionable language, material, or anecdotes. So your speech would definitely need a purpose with humor. So when you write your speech, you will ensure that all this is taken care of. If you do not write your speech, there is a tendency that you would, by mistake, have any of those things that you should not be having in your speech. It's a contest, so you need to ensure that you have it written down. The second point in preparation I would like to share is that do not poke fun at others in your humorous speech contest, at your humorous speech contest. Like, it's okay to poke fun at your spouse, but of course with their permission, because otherwise you may not get dinner or you may have to sleep on the couch. So ensure that you get permission from your spouse and poke fun at your spouse in your speech. I have done it, I have got permission, and we are doing great. But don't do that to anybody else in the audience, fellow Toastmasters, judges, or even the contest chair. The best you can do is self-deprecation. And that works best when it comes to humor. Let me tell you, I'm in the process of preparing my humorous speech, and I have prepared speeches like Shades of Wisdom, if you know what I mean. I have speech like, another speech which I'm working on is, I'm not fat, I'm just 3 months pregnant. You get it? I am talking about myself, and I'm ready to self-deprecate myself when it comes to humorous speech. So keep that in mind. And if you see just the examples that I have given you are quite relatable. Most of us have that belly, correct? So the audience will be able to relate to such a speech. Most of us are going gray. The audience will be able to relate to such a speech. Coming to point number 3, work with your mentors. DTM Malka just mentioned how important it is to work with your mentors. And coming to humorous speech, even more important, because humorous speech requires that fine-tuning with regards to the punchline, the pauses, when you should be saying what, what would it be to say the same sentence but make it sound funny or make it a message? So that is as far as preparation goes. Write your speech, do not poke fun at others, self-deprecation, and use your mentors. Take help from your mentors to even write your speeches. Coming to practice. How would you practice your speech? Of course, your mentors. Go to your mentors. This is the speech we worked on. Let's practice. Tell me what I can do better. Stand in front of the mirror and practice, because you need to know how you look like when you're delivering the speech. So look at yourself. Look at it like, would that expression really make the audience laugh at you? And then, of course, practice with timing. While you're practicing, ensure that you finish your speech in 6 minutes, 15 seconds, allowing you 1 minute for all the pauses that you would have to account for while actually delivering the speech. Because you would have to wait for audience response when you are delivering a humorous speech. But it's known that if the audience is laughing, don't cut short. Let them enjoy that moment, laugh, and then you continue your speech. So allowing that time, make sure you finish your speech when you're practicing 6 minutes, 15 seconds, and you will be safe to finish your speech at the time of delivery, considering 7 minutes, 30 seconds within that time. Now, also practice your speech with different people, because when you deliver your speech to only one person, or maybe the character that is in your speech, it may be funny, but for somebody else, it may not. So go through a series of different audience, your club, be a test speaker, even if it means an humorous speech, take it up as a test speech. Ask your friends, people who are not in that speech, of course, as I said, not many people. So if it's your husband in the speech, don't practice with your husband, but somebody else who will tell you, point out to you what you can do better. And coming to delivery, it's a humorous speech, so let there be enthusiasm. Roll on the floor. Of course, please don't get off the marked area, and don't blame me because I said roll on the floor. What I mean is use the floor to the maximum, because that's where you will be able to express yourself. Use the props that you want to, and let them be the appropriate props which will enhance your speech. And of course, pause, look at the audience, and then deliver your punchline. That's most important. The timing in delivering your punchline is very important. And that is about preparation, delivery, practice, and delivery. If there are any questions, please put them in the chat, and our head of education will take care of your questions. Now, there's one thing that I want to mention, and that is, this is the question that comes up when humorous speech from humorous speech contestants. Let me address it. The judges will consider their own response as audience response. We are going in for a hybrid contest. So to ensure that it is fair on all contestants, the judges will be considering their own response as audience response. I hope that is clear. And there will be an official statement coming out from the PQD office on this. This is what I've been told. So with that, I have explained what it is to take part in humorous speech contest. I hope to see more hands raised now. How many of you are ready for it? Okay, we have distinguished Toastmaster Catterton. Great. And he shall be poking fun at me. The Toastmaster Maimuna, lovely. So here we go. All the best, and I'll see you on the humorous speech stage. Thank you so much. Over to MC.